Hey guys, Dom here. We're gonna make some really good recipes with a whole rotisserie chicken. Got this little bad boy from Costco. We're gonna make it into 4 different recipes, and you tell me which one you like the most. Let's do it. First up, we're making some chicken pesto pasta salad. We got some rotini, we're gonna make a little pesto, we're gonna pair it with some mozzarella balls, some grape tomatoes, arugula, and we're gonna make pesto with basil, parsley, and arugula. For our chicken, we're gonna use the chicken breast, one of the chicken breasts. So let's get our pasta cooking. Salt. Let's process all of our sides. Red onion diced. Save this for some stock for later. We're gonna make a chicken soup with the rest of the rotisserie chicken. I'm just gonna slice all these cherry tomatoes. Take all my tomatoes. Let's get a little side bowl of arugula. I like the taste of arugula. We're gonna process our little chickie. This little strap. I'm gonna kind of break this up. It's so cooked, it's just so easy to remove the thighs and the legs. Remove our wings. Remove that backbone. This just makes it easy to clean. And all these pieces we're gonna use for our soup. Messy. I'm gonna cut right along the breastbone. Get out our first little piece of chicky. So one of the reasons I love pasta salad for just one little piece of chicken is that you can really take it a long way as you mix it with your pasta and all your mix-ins. Okay, that looks great. Pasta in, rotini, use what you want. We'll cut these into little planks. You can shred this up. I prefer to dice it. We're hoping to get 1.5 cups of chicken. Put it all in there nicely. I'm gonna use an immersion blender here. I don't think enough people use an immersion blender for this kind of stuff. So pesto is supposed to be delicious, pasty, herb topping. You can really make that happen in an immersion blender. Just need a proper jar for it. If you don't have like a pint or quart container, I tend to gravitate toward using measuring cups, liquid measuring cups. And yeah, it looks like a lot. It is a lot of herbs we're putting in. I like to layer it so that it just doesn't smash all the herbs down at the bottom. And I like to do a little almond. We got our block of Parmigiano here. Get some olive oil. You only need to add a little bit at a time. You don't even need to properly measure here. You just want to get everything nice and loose. And then I'm gonna squeeze in half of my lemon. We're gonna do the whole lemon in this. We really want this to be acidic, especially when it's going into pasta salad, just to add more flavor. We're gonna go in. So you wanna wiggle it back and forth. This just allows some air to happen. Look at that. Okay, let's put the rest of our ingredients in. Almonds, some arugula. We're gonna put the rest of our basil in. Then we'll squeeze the rest of that lemon. The lemon is taking place of the vinegar in this. Never leave your immersion blender just standing up. It will fall over. Let's give it a taste. Good consistency. Nutty, cheesy, lemony. Needs a little salt. Our pasta looks ready to go. Perfectly al dente, nice and salty. All those good things. Drain it off. And we're gonna pour our pasta in. Can you believe we did this in like less than 20 minutes? Let's finish up this pasta salad. So I'm gonna dump all my chicken in. My tomatoes, my cherry tomatoes. Take my arugula, mozzarella balls. I think I'm gonna put the pesto right in the corner here. Look at that, so good. We have our delicious pesto chicken pasta salad. We're gonna put it into a different bowl to toss it all. We made a mess with our pesto. It's totally fine. If you don't like arugula, you can use spinach. I just love arugula, and I also love buying it so I can add a little extra to the pesto itself. I love the flavor. Everyone knows pasta salad needs to sit in the fridge for at least 2 hours. The pasta will absorb some of this pesto. Could I have used a bigger spoon? Absolutely. You have to taste though. It's our time. Oh, very good. Very, very good. Pesto. So we're plating. I'm gonna hit this with a couple dashes because it really can't be vinegary enough for me. Chicken pesto pasta salad. This is my piece. Yum. Delectable. Oh yeah. All right, here we go. Oh, it's so good. It's not like too basil-y either from that arugula and the parsley in the pesto. Oh, I take another bite. Oh yeah. Here's all my ingredients for my burrito bowl. Milk and sour cream, cilantro, avocado, a couple Roma tomatoes for serving, some cumin, some limes, some corn and black beans and chipotles and our rice. So let's get our rice started first. I got some minute rice here. Just dump that right in. And I don't care about measuring when I'm coming to rice. I will add more water than need be, especially with minute rice. It's already cooked. I don't need to watch it that much. Controversial take, I think you should salt your water for your rice. Not as much as your pasta, as it will reduce. So we're gonna make that into a cilantro lime rice. We're gonna take our chicken thighs, we're gonna chop them up, and we're gonna make an easy, quick chicken tinga with it. I'm gonna chop off the top of our onion. I love onion, even if it doesn't cook fully through in this recipe. Tinga is normally a braised chicken dish with chipotles and other dried peppers. We're just gonna use chipotles, some tomato, some broth, and let that reduce all the way down until we have a delicious tinga. Karate chop the top, saw till you're comfortable, tip of the knife through, and a nice dice. Gonna start our pan, add some vegetable oil, 1, 2, and we're gonna just let our onions heat up with the pan. Garlic, fun way to chop garlic here for you. Take the fat half of your knife, pull it close to your cutting board and smash it. Now my recipe says add 2 garlic cloves and I'm adding 4. So when you smash it, just makes it easier to dice. Back and forth, back and forth. And it doesn't stick as much to your knife. Gonna let that cook. I'm gonna add the garlic right on top of the onions. It's a trick I learned from Giada. That way, so your onions cook pretty hard on the bottom and your garlic stays pretty nice and protected while your onions are browning. Open my can of chipotles. We only need 1 of these. So smoked jalapeno, soaked in adobo sauce. I'm gonna reserve some of the adobo sauce because that to me is what we want more of anyway. Chipotle is just gonna make it nice and spicy, which I like this spice from a jalapeno, so we're going in on it. Careful when cutting, good juice. Cut it into nice little strips and then we'll dice it across. Then we'll add this in when we add in our tomato. Looks like our onions are starting to brown. Look at that, all that garlic stayed perfectly raw. Well, we got a little bit of char on our onion. I'm gonna lower the heat to about medium-low while we chop up our tomatoes. By the time I'm done chopping my tomatoes, we should, the moisture from the tomatoes should stop the cooking process. So we should get that dark char on some onions and some garlic by the time we're done chopping. Now, if you don't chop as fast, just turn it lower and you'll do fine. We need about a cup of these Romas. I like Romas because they're super inexpensive and it still gives you that fresh tomato flavor. Stack as many as you feel comfortable with. Always cut into planks, then to matchsticks, then to dice. You don't really need to worry about the shape as much as of tomatoes because they will cook down. I'm gonna turn my heat back up. Looks like we got a decent char. About 70% of the onions are browned, which we like to see. I'm gonna add in my tomato. Start to form the sauce. I'm gonna add in my diced chipotles and adobo. Season this up with some cumin, about a teaspoon. So back to our chicken. We are gonna go in on our thighs. I wanna shred it. So this is already very cooked chicken. It should shred very, very easily. The bone right in the thigh comes out. I'm gonna take the skin off and I'm gonna dice that up to mix in. Turn my heat down again to about medium-low. Get a little bit of charring happening here. Smells absolutely delicious in here. I'm gonna add in our broth. Stop that cooking process just because that pan just was getting a little too dark for me. I'm shredding, beautiful. Take my skin, I'm gonna just chop that skin up. Careful, it's slippery. Make sure to curl your fingers back every time you're chopping. And then I'm gonna just chop across. This will just kind of blend in with all of those tomato-y flavors as I am cooking. We got our mixture up to a boil. I'm gonna add in our chicken. And this is gonna make 2 chicken bowls out of just 2 thighs. We haven't seasoned this at all yet, so we wanna make sure that we evaporate a lot of this broth out. Rice looks pretty fluffy. Perfect. Top tip, wear an apron. You don't need a towel. Drain that off. Just dump it right back in the pot. Just make a well to make sure all that rice doesn't just continue cooking. So we're gonna make some cilantro lime rice with that rice that we just cooked off. I really wanna use the stems in this. The stems are gonna add so much cilantro-y flavor. I'm gonna dice this really, really small. Actually gonna get rid of this chicken. Mix up our chicken. Just gonna dump our rice out. And we're gonna take all of our cilantro, we're gonna put it right in the middle. Now we're gonna start to zest some of these limes in. So I'm just zesting and using my thumb to roll the lime. Make sure to get yourself a zester that's not gonna grate you. So I got about like 90% through. I'm gonna cut my lime after rolling it. Get some of those juices flowing. Oh yeah, baby. I'm gonna just gently mix up our lime rice here. Back to our tinga. So we're gonna use a fresh bowl to plate up our cilantro lime rice. Unlike chipotle, we are not going to just make this all about this rice. Some canned black beans I rinsed off. Just put right up against this. Just some frozen corn thawed. We're just gonna cut these into a little bit larger chunks than we did for our tinga. So this is the time to babysit your tinga. A little salt, some pepper. Tell me you wouldn't be happy to see this for a taco night. And it came from a rotisserie chicken. Our avocado is a little underripe, it's okay. Make nice cute little fans here. Okay, I'm gonna turn the heat off. Look at this chicken tinga, it looks incredible. All those tomatoes have cooked down. We have this gorgeous shredded chicken here. We're gonna take a little bit, we're gonna put it right over here. Just take a little sour cream and a little milk. So you want this to be drizzleable with some sour cream. And in quick motions, we're gonna swipe back and forth with some cilantro. Our nice fan of avocado. Let's finish this up with a little seasoning on top of the avocado. And then I like to do right over the sour cream, just some cracks of pepper. Just so you know that we care about you. Look at that, yum. Let's try the tinga, the chicken burrito bowl. It's all mine. So I'm gonna get a good spoonful. Perfect little spoonful here. Got some of the tinga, some rice, some black beans, some sour cream, all the goodies. Oh my God, it's so good. I'm gonna get another bite of the chicken. It is so spicy, tomatoey. Oh, I'm gonna eat the hell out of this. Oh, it's so good. we are going to make a Caesar salad wrap with the rotisserie. So first thing I'm gonna do is rip off any ugly outer lettuce pieces from our ginormous piece of iceberg lettuce here, because our goal is we want a really big piece of lettuce so we can wrap this up like a wrap. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna cut the core out. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna put this under some cold water. Now this is gonna help wash our lettuce. It's also gonna help separate it to make it a little bit easier to pick up. Here was our lettuce. Putting that water just helped separate that layer, and I just pulled it right out, and here's what we got. This is the perfect little base for our chicken Caesar wrap. With this part of the rotisserie chicken, now I'm going to cut the breast. So the other breast, one breast was for the tinga, this breast is for the Caesar. Just go along that breastbone again and then just kind of pry it off. Don't worry about like sawing in too much. Just pry that chicken breast right off. Look at that, beautiful. We'll not use half of this chicken anyway for the other wrap. Our little Caesar dressing. This part's really simple. All right, we're gonna plop in some mayo as our base, a couple tabs, then we're gonna go in with some Worcestershire, a couple dollops, give us a fishy flavor. I'm gonna take some of this pre-grated parm. We're gonna blend this into our goodies. Some Dijon, just a nice little squeeze. Add a couple cloves of garlic, half a lemon. We're gonna squeeze our lemon in, get some olive oil. Now our goal is to just crush it all up. Wiggle, wiggle. Little good olive oil will really take that flavor up a notch as well. I'm gonna juice up some lemon. Mix it around. So we got our chicken, we got our lettuce, we got our parm. I'm gonna use these cheese and garlic croutons. You just can't have a Caesar salad without sliced tomato. Let's assemble. I'm gonna start with a little salt at the bottom. We're gonna add some shreds of parm, some chicky. And we're gonna sprinkle in some croutons, some Caesar. And then we're gonna take a couple of the slices of tomato. Then we'll give a few sprinkles of salt on top to finish with just another hit with that Caesar dressing. So you wanna find the place that's like the thickest stem. All right, so we're gonna start from this side because this side is telling us to roll it up this way. And I'm gonna roll it into a lettuce wrap. I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna wrap it really, really tightly, okay? Thing about lettuce wraps is they only work if they're wrapped really tightly. Otherwise, you're just eating a very messy salad. Love that. So ideally, what I would do with this is wrap it up really tightly in some plastic. Lettuce wraps really need that support every angle. The tighter, the better. We're crushing all those lettuce cell walls and then we're just creating a nice little coating. Look at this burrito. Whew! We're gonna cut directly through this guy. Oh, look at that. We're masters, guys. Look at these. Can you imagine anything more beautiful? That's the chicken Caesar lettuce wrap. Thank you. It's like the BLT, like so much lettuce. Oh, it's so refreshing. It's really good. 10 out of 10. We're making some chicken noodle soup. I'm gonna get this pan really nice and hot, and we're gonna roast the bones of our rotisserie chicken with some olive oil, just to get some caramel flavor from those bones so that our broth can taste really good. Here's all the bones that we haven't used. And while that pan's heating up, I'm gonna start to peel some of my vegetables. I'm gonna use this in our stock. All the peels, all the ends, just gonna add extra flavor. Same thing with this celery. Just cut the ends. onion, we'll cut that in half. Any of this skin will roast as well. We'll cut the root off. Garlic husk. Pan should be nice and hot. We're gonna add in our chicken bones. We really wanna get a good sear on this. Any of the leftover meat is totally fine. We want everything to brown up. In this other pan, I'm gonna start some water, get it nice and hot. Pour that over our chicken when it's ready. I'm gonna cut off these parsley stems. We're gonna use these guys in our stock as well. I'm gonna load up all of our scraps to roast after this while I start chopping my veg for the soup. Any of those bits that stick, just make sure to use your wooden spoon, scrape them up. Oh yeah. I'm gonna cut my carrot into planks, then into matchsticks. Okay, so we're at a pretty dark brown part on some of these. I'm gonna go ahead and add in my scraps. I'm gonna add in some black peppercorns and a couple bay leaves. Our water is just at a boil here. There we go. All right, now you can just let your broth come to a boil here, and then we'll immediately reduce down to a simmer. So this is gonna be a quick rotisserie chicken stock, so we can make soup with it. But you can let this ideally sit for like 4 hours. We're gonna drain all these vegetables out, peppercorns, the bones, and then we have all of our shredded chicken. Some nice small dice on the celery. Beautiful. That's all of our mirepoix for our soup. So we're gonna let this go for about 30 minutes. Look at our mirepoix. Oh, we're nice and browned, caramelized, it's reduced pretty well. You can't even see the onions or the celery. Got a lot of moisture out. Decent fond at the bottom. We're gonna start to drain it in 1 second. Just gonna finish chopping up all this chicken. I've already chopped my parsley. And then we're just gonna cook our pasta. So we're gonna add our chicken right to our mirepoix. And then we're gonna start to drain our chicken broth. All right, drain off all of our broth. Just squeeze any of the little bits out. Look how rich that broth looks. That was just water a minute ago. All right, just lowering the heat on this soup. Bring it to a gentle simmer. I'm gonna garnish with some oyster crackers right in the center. We're gonna give it a quick taste. Oh, so good. Yum. Yum.